Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel for further updates and biology related videos. So in previous videos we have discussed about cell, and then we have discussed about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. In this video we are going to discuss about the functions that are performed by cell. So let us discuss about the cell functions. So, cell plays a very important role in the survival of an organism, as we have defined already that the cell is the basic functional and structural unit of an organism or life. Okay, so the first function is that functioning as barriers due to membranes and cell walls. So we know that each and every cell, both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, are enclosed by a thin membrane, which is called a cell membrane or plasma membrane, which is about 8 to 10 nanometer thick. And the function of the membrane in all types of cells is the same, though there are some minor structural and chemical differences. As we know that the cell membrane may differ in the chemical composition, but most of the time it is same, and the function is same for both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell for the cell membrane. Now the main function of the membrane is to control the exchange of materials between the cell and its environment. As we know that functioning as a barrier, so you know that cell membrane acts as a barrier for cell from its external environment, right? So it actually, the main function is that it controls the exchange of materials between the cell and its environment. So whatever it is coming from outside inside the cell or going outside from the cell, it is controlled by the cell membrane. Okay, so according to the need of the cell, the membrane is sometimes folded or invaginated to increase the surface area for more exchange of materials. So according to the need, for example, we know that in intestine the cell membrane has got foldings in the form of villi to increase the absorption of some food materials or some absorbing the materials which are required for proper nutrition and assimilation of that things. So it also, according to the need, it got modified in different types of forms. For example, in prokaryotic we have discussed that there are foldings in the form of mesosomes, which contains different types of proteins and different types of DNA, different types of nucleic acid, right? So these are the function of plasma membrane. Now, the main cellular function are performed for the presence of important properties of the membrane. So the cell membrane has got different types of properties. Okay, the first property is the membranes are selectively permeable. So as we discussed that cell membrane helps in the transfer of material from external environment inside the cell or from the cell to the environment. So it's a selectively permeable membrane which allows certain molecules only to pass in and out of the cell. For example, certain particular size of a material can pass through the cell membrane. If it increases that size, it cannot pass from the cell membrane, right? So this is the function of plasma membrane. It is selectively permeable. Membranes can selectively allow certain specific molecules against a concentration gradient, maintaining higher concentration inside the cell than outside, or vice versa. Okay, so depending on the concentration gradient, the cell membrane permeability changes, and it is selectively permeable. Okay, now the process requires some energy, and this is known as active transport. Okay, some process in the transportation may require energy in the form of ATP, so that is called as active transport, in which there is active involvement of adenosine triphosphate. Okay, now some process may not require energy, that is called as passive transport. For example, diffusion, right? It's an example of passive transport. Okay, in active transport there may be involvement of receptors and all, so it requires energy. Now excess amount present in the cell are thrown out with the formation of vesicles. Okay, in for example, if there is certain synthesis takes place in the Golgi apparatus, or okay, or endoplasmic reticulum, so it should be thrown out, or it should be transferred to the destiny. So it is done in the form of vesicles. Okay, so these vesicles are pinched off and released from the cell containing various substances. This type of movement out of the cell is called as exocytosis. Okay, so pinching of excess material outside the cell is called as exocytosis. Okay, the opposite of exocytosis is endocytosis. It means endo means inner, exo means outer or external. Okay, endocytosis includes the process of movement of contents within cell. Okay, so there is continuous movement outside the cell and inside the cell also. Beside these, the membranes also contain some proteins and enzymes to perform certain specific metabolic activities. Definitely, the plasma membrane contains different types of carrier proteins, different types of enzymatic proteins, which helps in the different various functions that are performed by the cell. The membranes also maintains the physical integrity of the cell. Okay, so the membrane also maintains the physical integrity, obviously, because the definite shape of a cell is given by the membrane only. If membrane will be not present, it means the cell cytoplasm will move here and there. So the firmity or integrity of the cell is given by the membrane only. Now one more thing we can add is there is that function of cell in the form of by the help of cell wall is that cell wall provides protection and provides rigidity in case of bacterial cells or in case of prokaryotic cells and in plant cells, which is cell wall is absent in animal cell. So this is one of the most important function of cell wall also. So these are the related function of the cell related to plasma membrane. With the help of plasma membrane, what cells perform the function. Okay, now let us discuss something about the functioning as genetic material due to the presence of nucleus and ribosomes. So we already have discussed that depending on the presence of nuclear membrane or a distinct nucleus, the cells are classified into two types: prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells do not contain nucleus or nuclear membrane, and eukaryotic cells contain nucleus and nuclear membrane, right? So in eukaryotic cells, the genetic material is present in the nucleus, which is enclosed by a membrane. In prokaryotic cells, nuclei and organized nucleus are absent. The genetic material or DNA are folded into a compact structure known as nucleoid. So we have discussed during structure of prokaryotic cell, there is a presence of nucleoid in the center, which is stained by the Felgen reaction or Felgen reagent, and there is no membrane separating the nucleus from the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay. The genetic material DNA, prokaryotes and eukaryotes regulate the synthesis of protein on a small cytoplasmic structure known as ribosomes. Okay, so the DNA acts as a genetic material, and with the help of DNA, different types of proteins are synthesized. So cell perform the function of protein synthesis with the help of DNA as a genetic material. Okay, or RNA, and with the help of ribosomes, the proteins are synthesized. As we have already told that ribosomes are the protein factory of the cell. Okay, now DNA also serve as a hereditary material. Okay, so the characters or different traits are transferred from parents to offspring with the help of DNA as a genetic material. So it is one of the most important function of cell, that it serves as a hereditary unit in the form of or with the help of DNA. So these are the function of cell as genetic material due to the presence of nucleus and ribosomes. Now let us focus our attention on function involving motility through microtubules, microfilaments and other bodies. So you must be remembering that microtubules and microfilaments are absent in prokaryotic cells, and they are present in animal and plant cells that are eukaryotic cells. Okay, and other bodies such as flagella, cilia and all. So flagella and cilia are present in prokaryotic cells also, and also present in eukaryotic cells. Okay, now one of the most important characteristics of all cell is movement or motility. Okay, it may be either the movement of a cell from one place to another, or the movement of liquid over the surface of cell by cilia and flagella. Okay, so movement can be of two types. It may be from movement of cell from one place to another, or the movement of liquid over the surface of cell by cilia and flagella. In eukaryotic cells, microtubules play an important role in forming spindle apparatus that help in the movement of chromosomes into two pores during cell division. We know that during the cell division, there is a phase called as anaphase. During this, chromosomes get separated towards the poles, and with the help of spindle fibers only, this can be done. So microtubules help in the formation of spindle fibers. Okay, now microfilaments helps in the movement of the plasma membrane during cytokinesis and in producing cytoplasmic stream. So we know that there is a movement of cytoplasm inside the cell membrane, which is called as cytoplasmic streaming. So the microfilaments helps in the movement of cytoplasmic streaming, okay, or cytokinesis. The function of the contractile fibers in muscle cells is done by microfilaments. We know that during muscle contraction there is movement of actin and myosin filaments for carrying out the contraction. So during this also microfilaments like actin serves in the muscle contraction. So these are the function of cells with the help of microtubules, microfilaments and other bodies. Other bodies such as flagella and cilia, you must be remembering about paramecium, in which cilia helps in the movement of paramecium, and flagella in different types of bacterial cells, and also in eukaryotic cells helps in the movement of these cells. Okay, so these are the function of cells with the help of microtubules and microfilaments. So this was all about the function of cell. There are also more functions, but these are the most important function that cells perform. And cell also performs control and coordination movement with the help of in the form of nervous system and all. So these are the most important function of cell. I hope you have understood about the function of the cell. For further videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell icon so that you can get further updates about various types of biology related videos. Hope you like the videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you.